What up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. It's your guy, Some. Hit the keys. I think by now you guys already know what it is. Me and my guy CL with another podcast for you guys. In today's podcast, we'll get into that in a second. But let me go ahead and let my guy CL say what's up to y'all.
All right, what's good, y'all? We back. You know what I mean? Again, another wonderful episode with my guy, Some. We got a very, very special guest today. I mean, I'm very, very honored to have him on here. Just the things that he's doing in the industry today, what he's going to be doing in the future. We're going to learn a lot more about him. But go ahead, introduce yourself, or introduce if you want to, my guy.
No. Calm down for a second. Let's talk about this for a second. So the host or the guest that we have today is Physic. And y'all don't know who Physic is, but he's a dope engineer. He's won a Grammy for the Barbie movie. You know what I'm saying? He's a 4-time gold, you know what I'm saying, producer, 5 times platinum. He's done tracks with Polo G, Sexxy Red. And when I say Sexxy Red, I mean he recorded Ski. You know what I'm saying? He's worked with French Montana, Ruby Rose, Soldier Boy, you know what I'm saying? Lil Boat, aka Lil Yachty. Y'all give it up for my guy over here, Physics. Say what's up.
Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all, man. How y'all doing? We here.
You got the platinum status of him too, as well, man.
Yes, platinum status. So I want to say this on camera. I just want to make sure that I let you know I really appreciate you hopping on the platform. And sharing some knowledge and, giving some tips and tools and maybe your story to the next engineer, producer, beat maker, writer, songwriter, because we're all in this together.
Right.
So every story makes the next story, great. So I'm not going to waste no time. I got to know, how the hell did you meet up with Sexxy Red and engineer Ski? I got to know that before we get into anything else.
So that happened through my brother Trinidad James. Shout out to Trinidad James. I've been working with Trinidad for like a little over a year now, and so he just taps me in for sessions, whether it be like stuff for him or songwriting session, or whether it be for like other artists coming in. So he had me tapped in for that. So he called me through, or it was like around like 9 p.m. because the session was from like 10 p.m. to like 3 in the morning. So he hit me. He was like, "Yo, come through for this session." Didn't know who it was for yet, because sometimes I might find out there when I'm at there. He might let me know ahead of time. So pull up to his, it was at his crib too. So pull up to his crib and everything. Sexxy Red was there. No, I didn't know who she was like that. I knew about Pound Town, but I didn't know her face. I never saw the video for Pound Town. So when I got there and everything, and he introduced me and let me know who that it was her. So I was like, okay, fire. So we were in the session and everything, had the whole song loaded up. No, I didn't record the hook. I only recorded the verses. So she already had the hook done. So I'm hearing ski, and I'm like, okay, another TikTok song. That's what it sounded like to me, because I don't really listen to like that, those type of records like that. So when I heard it, I was like, okay, cool, I guess. So, it was on loop for a few times. So she was writing her verses and everything, getting everything together. So we recorded it. And then, that was done. I guess she went back in when she left the lane, went back to wherever she was going. She re-recorded the first half of the second verse, because it's different than what I had. But everything else that was on the verses, she kept everything from that. So she did that, and she like put the snippet out online, and the rest was history after that. I was like, oh, y'all actually okay. Say less. I guess that's what we're doing. And
that's amazing.
The ripple effect happened, and Ski took off.
Because when you think about that, man, it's one of the biggest anthems. You know what I mean? Like, and just to know that, how does that feel to be like, okay, I'm a part of that. You know what I mean? For someone, not no local. This is worldwide, global.
Right.
You're a part of that history. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Nah, it's crazy, because even like my homegirl, my best friend, actually, she's in Paris, and I remember when she texted me saying like, yo, they got Ski going up in the club right now. And then my boy who's in Africa, he's in Kenya, and he was saying like, bro, they play Ski every night out here. I'm like, the heck?
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, I caught one. I'm grateful. I can't complain.
Here's what I think is even doper about this. I wanted to bring this topic up, and kind of CO kind of led into this, which is dope, because I didn't give him any insight on this. But like on Kai Cenat's stream with Kevin Hart, which is probably the greatest stream of all time, greatest stream of all time. Kevin Hart comes in, ski, like he's wilding out. I don't know if you've seen that stream, but that's how the stream starts with.
I saw some of it, not the whole thing, but some of it.
Yeah, you seen the beginning though?
I have not got to see the beginning of it.
Go back and check it out because it's dope. Because Kai's asking him what you know. Kevin comes in and he says, "Oh, I've been working on my lingo, my slang, you know, for the younger group." And he's asking him, "What do you know?" And he's just saying different things, but he's just going off and he keeps ski. That's how crazy. You know. That's how you know your song is a global song when Kevin Hart comes on a stream with Kai Cenat, the biggest streamer in the world. And there's 380,000 people in the stream watching the stream, and he's screaming the words to your song. So I think that, and you didn't even know that. You didn't know that before today.
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know how. I know the song was huge, but I don't know like how much of an impact it had or that it has, because it's still even going up today. So I don't know like who all is like influenced by it. Yeah. So for me, when I hear stories, it's like, damn, like you're still gonna find that. That is crazy.
It's an anthem, man. You know what I mean? It's one of those. I mean, it's not just a record. It's actually an anthem. And so people chanting that, there's gonna be something that's gonna be chanted for a long, long time. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So
probably forever, bro. Yeah. Probably forever.
Definitely.
I don't see that really going away because there's a generation of people who are saying it, and it's a younger generation of people. So, you know, since the younger generation, they're saying it now, I still say all the stuff I was saying when I was 17, 18, 20, whatever the case is, and I'm 43 now. So
you be saying fat and tight and stuff still?
Yep. Tight, dope, fire, all that shit, bro. All that stuff. I still speak the same as how I did when I was growing up, because that's just how I grew up talking, you know?
Understood.
So that song is kind of embedded into history. I feel you though. I'm no shots, no slights, nothing to anybody, but I feel what you're saying. Like, that's not really a song that I would listen to, because normally I wouldn't catch myself listening to that. Obviously, we all get it. We're guys, no shots. I want the girls to do their thing. I want the girls to talk their shit. I want the girls to do, you know, girls should be able to rap like we rap. So, but you know, we're guys. But that shit go hard. The beat's hard. The mix, bro. I'm not sure if you mixed it or just recorded it, but the record is so clean. It's so clean on that. It's so clean on that. A lot of people don't recognize that when they're listening to tracks. Because I'm going to listen to a track different than somebody who's just a music listener. So as somebody sitting on the outside, I know whoever recorded that track did a really good job, and whoever engineered, because you're talking about the verses, that's what I pay more attention to when it comes to mixing. You know what I'm saying?
Now, for me, when it comes to recording, is a certain way. I'm not just one of those engineers who just like lets you sit down and then you fix the mic yourself, because if I do that, a lot of times I've seen artists have a mic like down here. I'm like,
oh yeah,
what the hell are you looking down at? Like what? Or have it like, so I set it in a way where it captures the vocal at a certain range, so it gets a clean ass recording. I didn't do the final mix on Ski, but like the stutters and the verses, I did those because when we were recording, she's like, okay, she wants stutters here. So whatever she told me to put stutters, that's where I put the stutters. So a lot of times she's also going and letting you know like where she wants certain things to be as well too.
Yeah,
so that's how that came about as well. So yeah, and she kept those.
So I think as we're having these podcasts, a lot of you guys can see, because, you know, we've been talking to a few people now at this point. This takes teamwork in order to make it work. So, you know, you watch a lot of YouTubers and you watch a lot of us, and we're trying to help you all become better musicians, but understand that if you want to take it to like a global level, it's more than just you, because you need to focus on what you're best at. So if you're the artist, you need to focus on writing and your vocal performances and all that other stuff. So taking time to learn how to engineer and to make beats and all this other stuff is going to take away from your main talent. So I just wanted to reach that point, because a lot of people in this space, they try to make it seem like an engineer is not important. They try to make it seem like, you know, somebody mixing. Yo, I just got to say this shit. I got to say it because I make a lot of music, but nothing I make sounds like, you know, something that comes out of Drake's studio or something that comes out of Jay-Z's studio, you know? So I recognize the importance of an engineer, but a lot of times we think that because we can do it and we can make it sound good, it sounds good, but it don't sound great. You know what I'm saying? And it's really hard for you at home to be a musician, to be the artist, to be the engineer, to be the producer, to be the beat maker. It's hard for you to wear all 5 of these hats and get the results that you want. So that's again why I wanted to make sure I brought my guy Physic on here to talk, because this is such an important piece to the actual success of the music coming out. So CL normally asks this, but since I'm just talking now, let me go ahead and get in here. What what made you want to get into doing music? What was your inspiration? What was your start?
So I got into music at the age of 14. So for those who don't know, I'm originally from the Caribbean, the Virgin Islands. My homeboy, well, one of my best friends back home, TJ, he's the reason I got into music, because every Saturday night we'll be at his house doing stupid dumb freestyles. This is back when, a lot of us kids are remixing stuff like, we're remixing Drake, Eminem, like we're putting out all like back in the days where an artist would drop a song and you would be able to like bootleg like a version of it online where it's just their hook and then the open verse, and then you would be able to like remix those and everything and upload on Facebook, upload on MySpace, all that stuff. So we used to have fun with it. And then it got to the point where I kind of like doing it. And also back home, it's like a popularity thing, because you're not popular unless you either have a motorcycle, play basketball, or you're an artist of some kind. So that's what got me into it. So I did that just to, impress certain people. But then it got to the point where I kind of like doing it because I like the creativeness of it and hearing myself on a song. So I just channeled it a little bit more. And then what made me really get serious about it was 2012. I remember I was fresh out of high school and we had our music festival back home. And one of the DJs, he was telling me that they needed like extra acts for local artist nights. So I was like, why not? I'll do it. I'll run it. So I went up on stage and everything, performed some of the songs I had, and I wore shades because I have anxiety, so I had like a little bit of stage fright at the time. So I put on my shades, so even if I was looking at you, you couldn't tell, so you couldn't make any funny faces at me to throw my shit off. So at one point, the whole place was pitch black while I'm performing. But then when I looked up again, I'm seeing phone lights everywhere. So when I come off stage, one of my classmates dapped me up. He was like, "Yo, that was hard." So at that point, I was like, let me start taking it seriously. And I'm 16 at this point, so I'm fresh out of high school. So I'm like, all right, bet. So let me start taking it serious. And then that's when everything just changed for me. Just kept on doing it and kept on just getting better at my craft and pursuing the whole music thing.
Awesome. My question for you, man, is, what was your break point? Like, what was the first record that, or should say, when somebody discovered you, when you started working with majors in the industry? Like, what was that song that or part two of that, I was asked, how did you make that happen? Or, were you sending out mixes that you did with other artists? Like, how did you get your first break started coming out, come to be?
So for me, my breaking point was October 2018. I had a session with Souljah. How that came about was, so I'm still an intern at this point. Right. My shift finished at like 10 p.m., but I chose to still hang out at the studio because for me, I just like being in the studio. So even if I'm over my shift, I really didn't care because I'm already in the studio. I'm just having fun at this point. So the owner of the studio, he calls me at like just a little past midnight. He was like, "Hey, you want a session?" He didn't say who it was for. He just asked if I wanted a session. And this is when I hated overnight sessions. Like, you could not get me to pull a 12-hour for shit overnight. But I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll do it. So he's like, okay, the client's gonna pull up now. Souljah does not pull up till 2 a.m. They finally hit me back like, hey, he's outside. They still don't tell me who it is. So when I go outside, they're like, just direct him into the parking lot and get him organized. I'm like, okay, cool. He pulls up in a regular Beamer, no Lambo, nothing flashy, nothing, just regular Beamer. Pull up. So I'm like, okay, I direct him to his parking spot, and then I go back into the studio. He comes in. So how I recognize who it was, he's the only one at the time with a PTE chain. So when I see that chain, I'm like, Souljah? He's like, yo, what's up? I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
So immediately, because I had on just a regular shirt, I didn't have on my hoodie, and it was cold in the studio. I had my hoodie in the back room side. Belt out, go to get my hoodie and come back. So I'm like, I'm sort of like starstruck in a way because it's like, yo, this is Souljah in here now. So I get myself composed and I do what I have to do and everything. And then at the end of it, his boys who were there, they just film us just vibing to whatever we were doing, and that was it. I didn't think anything of it because I knocked out because it was my first time actually being in a smoked out session too, because I wasn't accustomed to California weed as yet, so potent as hell. So they had me out,
Yeah.
So when I woke up the next day, the manager comes to the studio and he was like, "Have you been on Souljah Boy's page for the day?" I'm like, "No, I'm just getting up. I don't really like look at people's page that often." He was like, "Check it." So when I looked, he didn't tag me or anything because of course he didn't know my Instagram or whatever, but he posted me on his, and it's still there to this day. He posted me on his page and everybody who knows me was just like commenting like, "Yo, we see you, what's good, like this dude is out of here." And from there my bookings went through the roof. So shout out to Souljah Boy.
That's dope, man. I actually I didn't record Souljah Boy, but a long time ago. This was actually 2012. I was actually in a session as well with Souljah Boy and Walker Flock. It was in Interscope Records Studios at the time. This is actually BET Awards 2012. That's my
crazy.
That was my first time going to the BET Awards. I was working at this time with DJ Ski. DJ, you know, I did a lot of work with DJ.
Sorry.
That was perfect.
I saw that coming. I ain't gonna lie. I saw that coming.
Perfect. But yeah, I was working with DJ Ski, man. I was doing a couple mixtapes with him and stuff. That's how I kind of got my name and my start. And invited to the session, man, where and Walker Flock and Souljah Boy was recording and stuff like that, man. And like I said, I understand what you're saying because it's seeing like starting to see these artists and that you watch on TV or or you just bump in front of them. It's really mind blowing, man. And that was like my first time, like really starting to get into the industry and learning. So yeah, man. But you actually got to do, what I mean. So salute to you on that, man, for sure. Souljah Boy, we was doing stuff. He was real cool. He was just real chill, just working on his stuff. So we don't really converse much. I do got some video stuff still with when we was in the lab together, stuff like that.
Nah, for sure. Yeah.
Let me ask you this, because you're in California now, but you're from the Virgin Islands.
Correct.
So did music take you to California, or did you move there? And if music took you there, what made you decide that you thought that was going to be the right decision and that you were going to be able to make it work?
So it was the decision that I made to come to California because I came to California in 2013 for like 2 weeks because I have a cousin out here and everything, and I just wanted to experience LA. So I came out here for like 2 weeks. I went to Paramount Recording Studios. I wanted to also look for a studio to work out of. So I did that and just experiencing LA. I'm like, yo, this is different.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is a long way from the island. So I'm like, yo, I need to get back out here. So I told my dad, like, yo, I need to go to LA. And the main reason for going to LA is because back where I'm from, we don't really have an industry like that. Like on the whole island, you might have like maybe like 7-8 people who might take music seriously compared to out here. Bruh, this whole goddamn state, like there's musicians everywhere. There's studios getting booked left and right. You don't have that industry back home. So I had to make that move to make the dream work. And also because I grew up more around like hip hop and R&B. I didn't grow up around like a lot of like calypso, reggae, soca. I didn't grow up around that. So I don't really gravitate towards that genre, that Caribbean genre like that. So me moving out here, I got to be in that field and become successful in that field. So making that move was necessary for me to get to where I am today.
Let me piggyback on to the end of that though, because I feel like there's part of this topic that people don't realize. So we talk about often, there's a lot of artists who are in these remote areas. So CL's in a remote area. We did an interview with Coco, he's in St. Louis. So it's more of a remote area versus LA. Well, I live in Atlanta and I grew up in Nebraska. So I grew up in Omaha, in the middle of the country. And when I moved to Atlanta, it was just different. It was like the energy was different. Like once I moved here, I felt like the sky's the limit. Where when I was in Omaha, I felt like the limit was the sky. And so I can relate to that shit so well because I don't think a lot of times people realize the whole music industry. I'm not speaking for everybody and everybody's opportunities, but a lot of the energy, and it's like what you can do and what you believe you can do and having the motivation, because all musicians or everybody who makes whatever it is that they work, whether it's an engineer, a producer, a beat maker, a rapper, a YouTuber, whatever it is, you got to have motivation to do this shit. And when you get to these cities like LA and you get to these cities like Atlanta or New York, you're a little more motivated because you have to be a go-getter because these are go-getter cities. Facts. But in that same sense, I need to make sure that you all understand you have to be good at your craft before you go to these cities, because if you're not good at your craft before you go to these cities, you're going to be a waitress. And so, you know, just think if that's, or a waiter, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm just trying to spit facts, you know?
But you being real about it. And I respect that. Definitely.
You know, and so just make sure you get your talent up before you go to the cities. You don't have to go there. But what he's saying is kind of what I'm experiencing in my life. So I kind of think that that's really dope because it's that energy that you get, man. It's that energy that you get. So let me ask you this. So I don't even want to, matter of fact, let me lean this over to CL. So you and CL had a conversation about something. You know what I'm saying? I believe he hit you off with some information that you didn't know before he gave it to you. Can we get there in the conversation? Because I need that in my life. I need that story in my life.
Okay, so he's probably talking about the your Grammy win.
Yeah.
So basically, man, I was at the Grammys this year, man. First time being in the building, which is really dope. For those who don't know, I'm a Grammy member, so you know I get the access to be able to do red carpet events and you know what I mean, do a lot of stuff with it. Dealing with the Grammys, I'm a Grammy voter as well, so that means I get to. I'm a person that votes for the winners. Who wins some of the Grammy stuff, you know what I mean? So you can thank me for a little bit of that too, brother. I just like
shout out to that for real. My boy over there in the back, like, oh man, he had to put a little sprinkle in there.
I had to get
cooking right now, nigga. He's cooking.
I had to get back for the you know, get me for what I was saying earlier. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I feel that.
No, but real talk though, man. So you know what I'm saying? So that's what I do. I'm a Grammy voter and different things like that. And I was at the Grammys, man, this year, and my boy, man, I'm over here like just watching this, you know, the thing go, and I see that, and I remember he was telling me or seeing that you was nominated for the Barbie movie. And also, I want to get it. Also, we'll talk about, you know, we'll clear what actually you did for, you know, before that as well. You know, this, but when I saw it won, I had a DM my boy. It was like, "Hey, bro, you got you one, man."
Yup.
You know what I'm saying?
Yup. I remember that text for sure.
Yeah.
I was watching the live stream on YouTube as well, so I'm seeing the whole announcement, and CL's like, "Barbie got it." I'm like,
yeah.
I mean, they had no choice but to give it to us, man. You had to give it to Barbie.
Yeah. So I was really excited for you, man. You know what I mean? Because like I said, just getting to know you at that point and just knowing your humbleness and how good of a dude you are, how hard you're working. You know, you deserve it, man. So I you know, I salute that to you, man. And I was very proud and very happy for you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, you know, they be hating and all that stuff, like, oh,
right.
No, bro. I was like, yo, my God. I was telling my people next to me, like, yo, that's my guy right there. Yo, he won. You know what I'm saying? So, man, congratulations on that again. So yeah, and
I appreciate
that. How did that come about? Like, what exactly did you do for you to be a part of that that Grammy win for the Barbie movie?
So, and again, shout out to Trinidad James. He called me to a session at his spot. So this was with songwriter Super Kane. Okay. Incredible writer. He Lotto. He's tapped in with who else has he done? Ruby Rose, Cali. But yeah, so Kane is like one of them. Like he did Big Energy for Lotto. He's done a lot of Lotto's catalog, basically. You know what I'm saying? So we were, and Sweetie. So in the session he came through, and then also Trinidad James, producer and business partner, Young Fire, he came through. So we were all just working on, you know, records, just like writing different records. And then I remember them telling me that Cali was coming through later on that day. So I was like, all right, bet. So Kane had presented the Barbie song because he was saying that Cali is on one of the songs that they had, because they were wrapping up the soundtrack, and they literally just had to write a verse for the soundtrack because he had the track with him. So he was like, let's just get this easy play because she's coming through later on. You know, easy win. So we pull it up. They wrote the verse and everything. Cali came through. She heard it. She liked it. And then, you know, she learned the record. And then we ended up cutting her verse there and doing that. And then I remember we submitted it to Atlantic because her A&R was in the session. So I guess they submitted it and they liked it. But what they had us do was, you know, make another verse, basically, like come up with like a second idea. So only thing we ended up doing was changing the first half of the verse because we kept the rest of it, and then we submitted that. So what people don't know is there's a second verse. There's a second version of it that will never come out. But as an engineer, having a lot of unreleased stuff, I get to enjoy that shit. So
it'll get leaked eventually. We're gonna hear it in 5 years, bro.
nah, because the way I do my, unless somebody hacks my computer, God forbid, but I'm very cautious on shit like that. Yeah, oh yeah, that's on my
so
computer.
You're the only nigga that has a copy of that verse, is what you're saying right now.
Well, me and whoever from the label, I had to send a session to.
I got you.
So yeah.
You know what's kind of funny is you bring up Callie. Callie's pretty dope. I like Callie. I actually rock with
she's
her.
fire. She's fire.
But I didn't know who she was. And this is funny, going back to something me and CL were talking about earlier, is I didn't get introduced to Callie until I watched a Duke Dennis stream from AMP. I don't know if you know who AMP, Duke Dennis, Kai Cenat, all of these are.
Yeah.
So Callie, I guess Callie and Duke used to date back in the day. It might have been fake, but the stream kind of seemed like they might have dated back in the day.
Got you.
And she was on there, and then she was talking, and they had a good conversation. So I actually went and checked her music after that. I was like, oh, she's kind of dope. You know what I'm saying? Like she's not bad. She's pretty fire. So let me ask you this. We're gonna, we're all over the place in this podcast. We ain't gonna keep the shit like regular on script. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna hop here, we're gonna hop there, we're gonna do whatever. So you said that you were doing some songwriting with everybody else in the the group. So what all do you do? What all hats do you wear? You know what I'm saying?
I'm not. So it was a songwriting session. Let me put it out. So I was doing songwriting. I'm just there to do the engineering, and then that ended up happening. So we were they were writing song references and ideas to like send out, but then Kane presented the Barbie soundtrack, and he was like, "Yo, I got this opportunity for us. It's an easy play. Caddy's gonna come through, so she'll cut it either way, and the A&R is gonna come through. So let's just knock it out." And that's how Barbie ended up just happening and falling into our lap. Yeah,
but still, with that, are you still individually making music? So are you wearing different hats on your own? Are you still recording and writing and doing stuff for yourself, or have you just completely transitioned to only being an engineer?
And I still do stuff for myself. That's how I'm able to like put things towards my engineering, because I might experiment on my own with certain things, certain effects, and then implement those into other client mixes, and then they end up liking what I come up with sometimes. So that's how I do my thing. So for me, so for people who don't know, I'm always going to be an artist first, because I'm always, writing stuff and, based off my own personal experiences in my own life. I help other producers get placements. So that also ties into the Polo G credit that I have. I had a session with him back in February of 2020. So this was a month before the pandemic hit. I had a session with him, and then after the session, I had asked his A&R at the time, like, how can I get beats to, for placement with him? And she just told me just the same email that you're sending the session to, just send beats to that email. So I did that exact thing, and then I'll say, a week and a half later, I'm literally getting home from my internship at the studio, and she DM'd me saying, "Yo, Polo's cutting to this exact beat right now." And yeah, so the pandemic then hit. I fly out. Like, I moved back home during the pandemic because my parents were like, "Yo, get out of LA, like get out of America." Period. They were not playing. Like, get out.
That makes sense.
So I was so I had to like literally, I was like, yo, at least let the studio know that I got to leave. So they gave me like 24 hours. So I'm like, okay, bet. So next day I went to the studio, let them know I was flying out, and how bad it was. This is American Airlines I flew on, and normally getting a one way the day of, you think it's like close to $1,000 for a one way, just like that for the day. That ticket was $150 to fly overseas.
That's wild.
That exact day, one way, it was $150.
You was meant to get back home, brother.
Yeah. Wow.
I did that, and then being back home, I was home for like a week, not even like a few days, and then I looked at my boy's Instagram story, and Polo had posted something. He was like, glad to be a part of this. So I was like, let me check something. So I went on YouTube, and that exact same moment I was on YouTube, he dropped the record. I didn't know it was our record. I just saw a new Polo Jeep thing, so I just played it. And because I know how the beat starts, when I heard it, I was like, "Oh shit!"
Another
one. So I help producers get placements. If I'm allowed to like play beats in sessions, I do that. So that's where the production part comes in, because I get production credits whenever I help place beats and everything. They have no problem like giving me a percentage on that. So that's where, for everybody who knows, I don't make beats because I used to, but I don't do it anymore because my schedule and keeping up with certain things, and wearing too many hats, it kind of like I'll burn myself out doing that. So I just place beats for other people.
So I asked that actually for a reason, because I needed all that information. Everything that you just gave me, I needed. Sometimes if I'm looking off to the side, I apologize because my computer screen is playing on my. I'm looking at y'all on two different places, on a monitor and a computer screen. So I apologize for that.
Now you good.
So I'm never not paying attention. I'm just, you see this, I'm looking at you over here.
Mm.
But I asked all that for a reason, because a lot of times as musicians, you always want to be the star of the show when you start, you know? So like, you know, I mentioned to you, I rapped for, I mean, I still rap obviously, but I've been rapping for 25 years. You know, I've done a bunch of shows, all this stuff, but people don't know me as a rapper outside of Omaha. People know me as a producer, you know, or an engineer or all this other stuff. So I asked that because it's like, you gave us a great part of your story at the beginning. You started off as an artist, and you know you were killing it at shows. You know what I'm saying? Like you know you were doing your thing. But sometimes people don't understand with this music. It's everything's not meant for everybody, right?
Right.
I know that's hard to say, but like it's not everybody's supposed to be a rapper, a rap star. Not everybody's supposed to be a beat maker who's platinum. You know, not everybody's supposed to be an engineer. So a lot of times as a musician, you have to find your lane.
Right.
So you found your lane, which I think is dope, but you're still making music and you're doing stuff. So I just wanted to, let you talk on that and then follow it up, because I feel like a lot of people who are watching this or who are going to watch this, they may think that, oh, okay, I'm going to be the best producer on earth, but you might be better at something else, bro. Like I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm a better rapper than producer, but I'm better at producing stuff than I am at producing or presenting my raps.
Right.
And so I just think it's dope that you can tell everybody, hey, I was an artist, now I'm an engineer, but I'm going to help people get placements and all this other stuff and do all these other things, because it lets people know, bro, there's so many different lanes to do this music stuff and enjoy what you're doing. Like, okay, you may not be able to be the top rapper in the world. You might have to go produce some beats, but do you want to go produce some beats, or you want to flip some burgers? You want to throw some trash in some bins? You know what I'm saying? Do you want to be at some store doing this shit, you know, getting cussed out by people? So not trying to make it go left field. I apologize, but I just,
no, but that's real though.
Yeah, it's real. If you can find a way to get into this music, you're still gonna love whatever you do. I love what I do, you know, I love what I do. And then you never know the opportunities you're gonna get. So I'm gonna let CO cook for a minute, and then I got some of the questions that we ask everybody. So you know what I'm saying? Sorry, I've been talking a lot. I haven't been letting him get in here. I need to do a better job of respecting my co-host on the platform.
It'd be like that.
I'm at talking. Hey, he's going crazy. No, it's better. That's no, you know, everything talking is realness, man. I mean, I don't really have like too many, you know, saying like bizarre, crazy questions and not like that, man. It's just real more the simple things of life for engineers and producers who are trying to come in and you know, get into the industry or to the game. What kind of steps would you say, you know, to kind of start off of getting themselves heard or getting themselves to the next level? And also, what do you use? What is like your go-to equipment or whatever like that?
Got you.
And you do be making these ski recordings and hitting Grammys and stuff like that. So you're doing something right.
Right.
You know,
I appreciate that.
It's right. So what can you tell these up and coming, and even for myself, man, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm still, you know, trying to get to that next level of my dang self, you know?
Right. I feel that. So I can give this because I've seen this happen. So to everybody who's thinking I'm just giving out just whatever advice, no, this is some shit that I've actually seen myself happen. So I can like put this on wax or whatever. For anybody trying to like really get into the game and everything, first apply for an internship at a studio. That's the first thing if you want to get into the game, because the studio is like your easiest access to getting into the industry, because every artist needs a studio to record out of. If they don't have their own home setup, they go into a studio. So if you're trying to get that easiest foot in the door, internship at a studio, you might start off, you know, mopping floors, cleaning the back. It doesn't. I did all that shit too.
Yeah.
Everybody starts somewhere. Somebody was a janitor, now they're a CEO. It starts off that way. So get an internship at a studio. That way now you're in there. You're around a lot of artists. You're in the mix now. And then another thing too, if you're trying to get placements, become an engineer. Learn how to record people, because You have artists, you have producers. How is the vocal gonna get cut on the beat? You gotta know how to record, right? They need an engineer. So if you can learn how to engineer, now you become an asset that they want in the room. You know, whether it's you use FL, Ableton, it does not matter. If you know how to record vocals, people are gonna hit you up, and then it's gonna come to a point where it's like, hey, does anybody have any beats? Hey, I have beats. I make beats.
Yeah,
Boom.
Yeah.
Now you become another asset to the situation. You don't just record people. You have beats that they might be able to jump on. So they hear your beats, they like it. Now you have another hustle. You can now flip those beats, and instead of probably charging like 200 or whatever, because you're still getting paid your engineering fee for your hourly, you could probably say, okay, yo, I got you for 100 on this bill. I got you for 150 type shit. Easy hustle. Now you just made more money on top of your hourly. And I've seen this happen through 2 engineers who I know. My co-intern, because I interned with him at the time, well, co-engineer, because he's a big engineer now. He is in Burna Boy's recording engineer. But now he's Burna Boy's recording engineer. My boy Otis, he is a crazy producer. This man used to be making beats every day, day in and day out. Since I've known him since 2019.
Nice.
So to make beats every day since 2019 and to now be Burna Boy's recording engineer, like go-to recording engineer.
Yeah.
Like you're like, if he's on tour, you're going on tour with him type shit. Like that's the level that he's at right now. So, and I've seen him do the whole thing. So he co-produced on Big 7. So like he's in there for anybody trying to get in. Learn how to engineer. You might not be able to like know how to mix and all that stuff. Don't worry about that shit. That'll come. That'll come. Learn how to record. Once you learn how to record, and also learn how to record efficiently, because especially because we're in an era where people are punching in, they're freestyling off the top. You have to be able to keep up with people. And even a real scenario, 2018, I had my first session. I won't call names, but if like how we're talking right now, cool dude, but the minute he stepped in that booth, is like the asshole side of him came out, and I didn't know my strengths or weaknesses with Pro Tools. I didn't know how slow or how fast I was, and 7 hours, I didn't get paid, but I got yelled at because I was too slow. And it kind of broke me because I left the session crying. I won't fake it. And I thought to myself, this is what I have to deal with. I'm not gonna do this. Like, it's just no way, because my parents don't even shout at me like that. So to get shouted at like that, as an engineer, like people don't know engineers, we get the disgusting part of people's attitude because we're the glue. We keep it all together. So we're the ones who get the bullshit. So basically, with that session, it taught me what I had to work on. Now I dare somebody to tell me.
There we go.
Right.
I dare somebody to tell me I'm slow. Even I had a funny situation with another artist. Like I said, I won't call names, but we were in the studio and he was like, "Hey, if you're not fast enough, I'll walk out the booth." He just did it on some like joke around shit. I looked at him and I gave a smirk. Man, get your ass in that damn booth. He went in the booth, came out. I was like,
"Go somewhere else." Yeah, you here? Yeah, let's work.
Exactly. So when he came out the booth, I was like, "Was I fast enough?" And he just smiled. He was like, "Yeah, you good." I'm like, "I know."
Yeah.
You know what I don't understand? What frustrates me about like some of these stories that we hear is like, because I appreciate you for being vulnerable there too. I really do.
Of course, I'm gonna give everything.
But I don't understand why niggas be the way that they be. But again, this is what you have to learn. You have to learn. I'm not calling anybody entitled because I don't know these people. I wasn't in these situations. But you have to have thick skin in this fucking industry. You really do. You got to have the thickest of skins.
Yeah.
And by that, not even just be a hard ass. Just take shit lightheartedly, not worry about everything, because it's like, who complains that, oh, it took you an extra 15 seconds to stop the shit, you know what I'm saying, and 15 extra seconds to cut some shit up. It was only really 30 seconds, which isn't a lot of time in the real world. But again, these artists are working with people who everything is precise and ready to go. So take a lot of this shit with thick skin and get the shit.
You gotta be on top of it.
I've been there before, physics, with the kind of getting your feelings hurt, not on the engineering side, but on the production side, when I was working. I ain't gonna say no names either, but
we need names. No, I'm playing. I'm sorry, I'm done.
I kind of got destroyed, bro. You know what I'm saying? How he was just like, yo, your beats really is not it. And I'm over here thinking like, yo, this is the hottest shit in the world. What you talking about? You know what I mean?
I had to, bro. I took some time off. I took 3 weeks off this shit.
It humbled myself. Honestly, it humbled me because, this is the first time I'm trying to create beats for people in the industry. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, your friends and family, you the hottest shit in the world, right? You know what I
Right.
mean? Everything you're doing is on fire. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Man, bro. So when the first time you hearing you mediocre or not hot, oh yeah. That'll humble you real quick. That'll make you second guess your whole career. I almost quit music and wanted to go to school to be a dentist or something like that. I was like, fuck this. I ain't doing this.
For me, it was to the point where after that happened, and it's not that I wasn't getting booked for sessions. I was getting booked, but I kept on declining sessions for 3 weeks. And the biggest one to this day that I declined, and this is where I will call a name, I got hit for a session for Jason Derulo, and I turned that down because of how bad that situation went.
Dang, that artist must have been wild.
Right.
Well, not even an artist. He's a producer / well, he's an artist too, but he's more known for his production and songwriting.
Wow.
Yeah, so because of that, I declined a session with Jason Derulo. That's how bad that affected me.
So let me throw something on that too, because we all go through this shit. So like what a lot of people don't realize, y'all just see the end product, So like when you're watching these podcasts or you're watching these shits or you're just watching us engineers or producers and stuff, you just see the end product. So like I've been through a lot with music. I've been doing this for like 25 years as far as like rapping and performing and doing all this stuff. And I got to a point to where I wanted to start making my own beats. And everybody I knew was like, nigga, your beats is trash, bro. You got to go pay for beats. Like you're a much better rapper than you are a producer, right? They're like, throw all those beats in the trash today. Now, keep in mind, I'm doing
not today.
My friends don't play though. That's literally, that's what I heard. Throw that shit in the trash today, right? Now, keep in mind, I'm doing shows and there's like hundreds of people at my shows and they're fucking with the music and shit. But like the commentary that I heard from them made me stop making beats. So I stopped making beats from like maybe 2011 to like 2015, 2016. I didn't make any beats. I played around in my software with melodies and stuff, but I made no beats because I was like, damn, these niggas said I'm trash. Let me just go ahead and purchase these beats today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then
It'd be real,
I was like, fuck it, let me start making these beats again. And now I'm making these beats again. And I should have never listened to anything that they said because a lot of the beats that I were making were like the Drake type beats, like the Who Do You Love type beats with YG and shit back in the day. And there was a market for those beats because I was making those beats when niggas weren't making beats like that. So if I would have just been myself and been true to me, I might have blew up a little bit because I was making fire ass beats like that. But I stopped and then I just got into me and I figured it out. So I just wanted to add that because you're seeing here, you're talking to people. Me, not as successful as them, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? I'm doing my thing and shit. Yeah. But they're successful and they're telling you stories of they failed, maybe not failed in their mind, but people made them feel like they failed and they overcame and they conquered and they were like, fuck that shit, nigga. I'm gonna work, I'm gonna grind, I'm gonna figure this out, and we're gonna get to the next level. So I just understand that, y'all. Everybody who ever watched this podcast, understand if you're not good today, you can fix that shit and be great tomorrow. So, just work on those things too. So he asked you a question about what's your favorite piece of gear. Let me break this down a little bit more because I want to take it from an engineer perspective. Because normally what I would ask is analog or digital. You can't really ask an engineer that shit because the answer is analog. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you got to have microphones and shit like that. So it's a little different conversation. What would you say is your favorite microphone to use? Favorite couple of microphones?
So, I'm glad you said a couple of microphones instead of just microphone because that just made it a lot easier.
Yeah, I got a bunch of microphones, so I get that. Like on different vocals, other microphones sound good and shit. Like I understand, frequency response and all that other shit. So
yeah. So I'll put this in there because this is the first professional microphone I ever had that my mom actually got me when I actually started taking being an artist seriously. It's the Spark Blue Baby Bottle mic.
I know all about that one.
That was the first professional microphone I had. So I stand by that.
That's a good mic, man.
Stand by that shit. It's a budget friendly mic. I think right now you can get it for like
140 or something.
About 150 to like 300. It just depends on because they have like different size ones, so it just depends on your budget. But so that's a great mic, especially for anybody on a budget. I co-sign that mic.
I still use it sometimes.
Shit, my homie got mine. But I have a different mic now, which is the next one I'm gonna get into. The reason why I like this mic is because it's the same mic that I recorded Cali on that won us the Grammy, and it's the same mic I recorded Ski on. It is the Warm Audio 8000. So the mic that came out that kind of like replicates the Sony mic.
Yep.
That's the one that I have at Microsoft. I like that one, and that's what Trinidad James has.
You ever get rid of that bad boy?
And also, too, if you don't have money for a Sony, you can use this one because this one is a $1,200 mic. But if you want the gold one, because they brought out a gold version, it's $1,300. So you ain't got to pay 10 bands for a mic.
So I need y'all to understand what this man is saying right now. Okay, this nigga has won Grammys with a Warm Audio mic. I rock with Warm Audio. I have a Warm Audio 1073 right here. You know what I'm saying? So I rock with Warm Audio. I think they make good stuff. But just listen to what he's saying. It takes a good engineer and a good ear to make a track sound good. He didn't say it in them words, but that's what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? I can make a $1,000 mic sound like a $10,000 mic. So it's not always necessarily the money that you spend on the equipment. It's the time that you spend learning the equipment. It's the time that you figuring out, you know, how to mix on this equipment, listening to it, understanding it more so than just having something that's expensive, you know?
What are some of your favorite plugins that you like to use when you're mixing?
Good question. Let me go back to the microphone real quick. So the other microphones that I do love is the Neumann U87. I love that microphone.
Great mic.
Because that's the standard, and I think that's about it. Just on a microphone, and also the C800, because you know why wouldn't you love the C800?
Right.
So plugins wise, Fat Filter, love the Fat Filter plugins.
I was just talking about that earlier.
Right.
Come on, man. Go-tos, especially with the dynamic EQ setting that they have on it now.
That's saturation. Right.
Oh, Saturn, that's on every one of my mixes. So Fat Filter is on my mixes. Waves, I use the CLA 3A because I love the compression on the 3A. I love the compression on that one. RVox, RComp, the de-esser, I use that. And then what I do is especially when I'm EQing, so I do my EQ in like 2 steps. So what I do is the REQ6 plugin, it's an EQ from Waves. Because of how harsh it is, you can definitely hear all the drastic changes that it does compared to Fat Filter, where it's more transparent. So you kind of like have to do like more drastic changes to like hear what's going on. So when I'm EQing, I might look at the Fat Filter at the spectrum of what's going on, or I may even use the analyzer in the REQ6 because it has its own analyzer, and the frequencies that I want to take out, I put it there and I do my adjustments on the REQ6 and get it to where I like it, because like I can hear it more than the Fat Filter. And whatever I do on that, I put that onto my Fat Filter, and that's how I kind of like do my EQs. So that's why my stuff gets a lot more fine-tuned, because I'm hearing it more with the REQ because of how much of a harsh EQ it is.
Yeah. So when you let me ask you this question too. I know a lot of artists, or I should say engineers as well, might have this problem. If somebody has a little bit too much noise or some type of, you know, they might have recorded it too loud, got a little bit of hits in it, or some type of, you know, type of denoiser that you like to use in case you come across something like that. You know what I mean? What do you like that kind of techniques that you like to use to kind of get rid of that extra noise in the back?
So for me, I've never been in those situations yet. I know there's a plugin from Waves that takes care of that now, or if you learn Isotope, they have a plugin called RX that does that. I'm not too in that field as yet, so I would normally like tap in with somebody, and I've tried it, but I just don't understand how to use RX. So for anybody who, if I'm in that situation, I'm like, yo, is either you re-record this, or I'm gonna have to pass it over to somebody else who knows how to use it, but it's gonna cost you this to like fix up this audio.
Yeah, for sure.
So that would be my approach to
you can tap in with me, and I can teach you how to use RX 11. And I can teach you how to use Clarity, because that's the Waves one. That would be the equivalent. Yeah.
I have 2 different one, and I got the reverb one as well. But too much, when people have way too much reverb, and they both
what is it, D-reverb or some shit like that?
D-verb or something like that.
Yeah, D-verb, something like that. But there's another company that has a D-verb that's really fire. Oh, I can't remember what it's called.
Sometimes I like fan of using them sometimes though, because it takes away a lot of that clarity of the vocal, man. You know,
that's the reason why I don't really like using. I mean, it's a dope plugin that they brought up, but I just feel like doing it that way, it's still taken away from the main vocal. So that's why at the end of the day, that's why I never bought it. Like, not to knock Waves at all. Like, get it how you get it, and however you can make a plugin, I respect it because I love Waves. But for me, just record your goddamn vocal in a clean environment. Shit.
Thank you.
I get that. I would probably agree with that the most, because that's like what I would typically do. Like I would just try to record in the best environment I can. And you can make it
the right way, man. And don't have the music, just blasting when you're recording, so all that bleeding goes.
I mean, I can stomach that better than an untreated environment. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I hate the bleeding too, but I can stomach that over overly reverb vocals. I ain't gonna lie to you.
You know what's crazy about music is everybody's different. So like when I record, my shit is like all the way down, right? So like my volume is not all loud in my headphones, because the louder the volume is, the louder I'm gonna rap. And so like I kind of write gritty and grimy and shit, like my shit is like raspy as fuck. I'll be like, yo, I'm disturbing when serving these sermons at whatever. That's how I'm gonna rap. It's gonna be in that tone. So I try to always get the cleanest environment. I always try to turn the mix down on my vocals, because I don't need to be screaming in the microphone. I want to preserve the level in which I always want to rap at. And I just never understood why people have to have the music blasting all.
Some people just like it.
Over the beat as well. You know what I mean? Now
right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I turn
some people do it to just feel it a lot more, because I've been in sessions where it's like I said, not to call names again, but I've seen an artist have the Apollo volume headphone maxed out.
Oh, fuck that, nigga. Fuck that shit, bro.
Maxed out.
Couldn't do it.
I'm like, yo, ear, that's why your ass deaf as fuck.
Right. I can only have one earphone on my head. When I record like this, right? So I got like I got to record like this. I got to have one earphone off my ear. I got to have one on my ear, and I got to be rapping so I can hear myself like in real time, and then I can hear myself through the headphones and shit like that too. So
I don't even hear myself in headphones when I'm doing my shit. I have mine completely muted.
I mean, I do, but I mean, they hear the beat, and you get what I'm saying. Like I can hear it through the interface, but I can't hear the double through the DAW. If that makes sense.
No, that's what I mean. Like I mute my vocal. I'll hear the beat, but I'll mute my vocal. I just don't like the feedback from my vocal. I used to like listen to myself, but now I mute myself in headphones.
Yeah.
I don't like to hear my vocal back for some reason, because it throws me off for some reason. I don't know why.
No, I get that. I get that because I don't like to hear the double, so I don't like to hear it in the DAW. Because when I'm rapping, I can't really hear myself. So the vocal is just kind of playing through the shit, because like I said, I like my shit low. I can't hear what I'm saying. I can barely hear the beat and stuff, But I know I'm going to be able to deliver whatever message that I'm trying to deliver the best that I can, because I'm not going to be screaming. I'm not going to run out of breath. I'm not going to like when you were talking about earlier, punching in, I'm not a punch-in rapper. I'm like an old school boom bap rapper. So if I can't rap my whole verse, then I need to practice it more. You know what I'm saying? Like I need to get my shit under control. I need to do a better job.
And shout out to my boy Light Show. He's a big artist from DC. Because of him, I got good at the punch-ins. Is because after the session that messed me up, I got tapped in with Light Show through my cousin LB, who is now a manager for Shorty. So basically through them, me and Light Show, we locked in. I mean, like this, I was like his main engineer when he was out here in LA. So, and he freestyles off the top, like doesn't write. So being with him, when we first started working, I went from taking an hour to record a whole song with him to 15-20 minutes, depending on his vibe of the record. So this is an artist I got to lock in with, who freestyles, who wasn't yelling at me or nothing. He saw the pace of how I worked at, and he worked with me, and it was able to get my chop. I was able to get my chops up. So I would say to engineers, if you know an artist in your city or whatever, to me engineers, if you know an artist in your city or whatever, and you can lock in with them, just let them know, like, hey bro, like I'm down to work with you. Just for you, I'll work at this price, but find somebody who you're comfortable working with and build your skill up from there, because you never know where that could take you. Because after that Light Show session, it prepared me for the Souljah Boy session, because Souljah Boy also did the punching method, and it prepared me for that. Because even Souljah Boy wasn't a dick to me. Like, this man was the coolest shit in the world, and it helped me get through the session. So that's all I did with the punching. You just got to be on top of your shit. But if you're an engineer doing punching rappers, please don't take longer than 2 seconds to punch them in, or else they will look at you sideways like, you done yet?
Yo, what I think is wild about that, though, from just a perspective of somebody who does all, tries to wear all the hats. Maybe I don't wear them the greatest. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand why a nigga rapping would get mad at a nigga engineering because you didn't write your rap before you came to the studio. Yo, I'm just being trill. I'm being 1,000, right? How the fuck you gonna be mad at a nigga because you're not prepared for a session and you want this nigga to work weird because you didn't prepare yourself for the
Technically,
session?
they're prepared, but they're not. So let me put it this way, because for me, I kind of looked at it like that the same way, but now I have an appreciation for it because it's like what I call a lost art, basically, because I think it started from Lil Wayne, because I know Lil Wayne to a certain point where he said he stopped writing, and
Jay-Z.
everybody who
I know,
Jay-Z.
right?
Jay-Z said he never wrote, so Wayne got that from Jay-Z.
Okay, well, thank you for educating me on that. So from that, how that stemmed down, everybody's like, oh, so if Lil Wayne ain't writing, why the hell I gotta write for? So that's why a lot of people started doing the whole punching thing, and that's why you have a lot of like over repetitive lines. I mean, I don't care if that's what you want to say, that's what you want to say. But to me, the artists group, I would say, who popularized that, Migos, because you can hear in a lot of the stuff I was punching and everything, and seeing how they did that, it influenced a lot of people. So now people coming to the studio, some might still write, like some might be okay, I'll go off of this idea that I have, freestylers, because I've been in with artists who write, but sometimes they freestyle, or they might write something first to get an idea for that. Okay, now I have a little starting point, now I can do the rest and punch in the rest. So it just depends on how it is. So yeah, that's all it really is. So people just expect, just because they're freestyling and making it up on the go, you can keep up because it's in their head. Like they might have it now, and then the next second it's gone. So that's why people, they kind of like get frustrated if you can't keep up. It's like, yo, I have the idea now. Like you gotta just stay with it. So that's all it is.
Let me clean this up real quick before I pass it back over to CL. I'm not knocking anybody that punches in. I'm just saying, like, we can't be mad at the engineers. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not mad. I get it. I'm an old head that messes with the new school. So it's like things change. Just because I did something a certain way doesn't mean that somebody else has to do it my way. I'm all with do things your way and get success. I need to make sure I clean that up. I don't want to get attacked in the comment section. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like I don't need y'all niggas coming at me. So pause.
Wow.
Whoa. Chill.
Yeah, big chill on that. Woo.
Hey, yo, I paused it right away though.
That was wild, bro.
This man is wilding out. Known at Cannon.
Y'all got me weak.
My man.
Y'all got me weak. Yo, I'm gonna definitely put that intro in as the outro, like the all the takes that they didn't see. I gotta put that in. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta do all none of that.
Wow.
That was crazy too.
Yo, I couldn't pause it again though. There's too much pause going in. You can't be saying put it in.
Nope.
What is on the stream? Oh,
But
man.
I honestly, bro, I don't really have too much more, man. Like honestly, like I said, I really just and like I said, just wanted to give you your flowers, bro. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that for real.
And I can only imagine what the future still holds for you, and just salute, bro. You know what I mean? Everything, the hard work that you put in. I mean, obviously, we can only fit so much time of what really you have done and what a lot of these big records that you've been a part of. But like I said, man, I just want to say this is just flowers giving, bro. You know what I mean? And much success and many more. And I can't wait to me do some work with you soon. You know what I mean? Some more work. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm out here. I ain't leaving LA. So whenever your ass touch down, even you something. If you out here, let me know.
I'll be out there for NAM. I'll be out there for NAM. You know what NAM is, right?
Yeah. For some reason, I don't get into that part of the whole thing because I don't know. I never got into the technology part of the whole industry thing because it's whatever to me. So I only pop out if people are like, yo, let's go to NAM. I'm like, okay, all right.
Well, I will be there at the end of the month. So what we talked about earlier. So I'm definitely gonna push that. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
And yeah, we don't have to. I mean, just because I'm coming to NAM, I'm just saying I'll be in LA for NAM for 5-6 days so we can link up.
Oh,
I'd be
yeah, we definitely gonna get up in the studio some shit.
Yeah, let me know when you're going out there too, bro, so I can,
Yeah, I think it's next year sometime around. I think it's January 26th through like the 31st. It's in those days.
Sure.
So I'll be out there for sure. I mean, it's guaranteed. I go to NAM every year. I just didn't go this last year because I was trying to save money for my kid's trip coming out here and a bunch of other stuff, and I was moving and all this other stuff. So it just made sense for me to just not go to NAM, save my money, and move, and save up for my kids to come out here. So I can't stress this enough, my boy. I appreciate you, hopping on the platform, rocking with us. You know what I'm saying? Just, telling your story, telling your experience, because again, a lot of people don't understand. People are coming from everywhere to live out their dreams. And really, most people can live out their dreams if you put the effort, the dedication, the time, the will, all that stuff in it. It may not be a dream of living in a $200 million house, but if it's a dream of making music all day, I can get up whenever I want to. I can go to sleep whenever I want to. My job consists of just me doing the work that I love. It's something that you should be putting the effort towards. So it might be a grind that you don't want to do for 2-3 years, but after 2-3 years, you get into year 4, you're like, oh shit, I can quit my job. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to worry about shit. I can just sit at home all day. I don't even got to go nowhere, and I can make all the money I need to make. And
to put this into perspective, this, like, to everybody watching, it's like, this was not anything overnight. Like I said, I was an intern at 2018. Like my engineering, like me as an engineer, I did not pop off until last year. So I've been engineering since 2018, and 2023 is when I finally got my big break. It is like, people of course knew me in studios, but like having a presence like online and just globally, where it's like, okay, you're known for this. Like I didn't have that moment until last year when I did the Barbie soundtrack and Ski for Sexy Red. So it's not gonna happen. Like it might happen faster for you. You might get an internship tomorrow, and then in the next month you do something and you're big off that. Like my timeline is my timeline. You might have a different timeline, but don't think that it's just gonna happen just because you're following stuff. So the blueprint that I'm giving, and you're thinking it's gonna happen overnight. So for a lot of people who think this is gonna happen just like that, no, it's not gonna happen just like that. So I want to put that out.
Yeah, and even working with major artists, man, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's gonna pop up for you either. Still, you know what I mean? Because
exactly,
for myself, it took a long time. I mean, I produced for a lot of dope artists in the industry, from Wale's and different guys like that. But it didn't. I didn't go up off that. You know what I mean? I still had to keep grinding. I still had to find the next.
I know you probably got records in your vault right now that's probably unreleased and all that stuff.
Bro, crazy. You know what I mean?
Like right now, I got like damn near 6 or 7 no cap records that I either co-produced on or placed, and
I got 11.
I don't know when it's coming out.
Beats right now on my hard drive with Dave Beats that we just never released. You know what I'm saying? I did a lot of work with Dave Beats when he first started popping off and everything like that. It's just we just didn't have that. It just didn't. The business just didn't work out the way it needed to. You know what I'm saying? And how we were supposed to push the records and stuff. So definitely, bro. It's just a lot. It happens like that. But like you said, just gotta keep going. And that timeline is your timeline. Let it happen. I agree with you.
Facts.
All right, y'all. Well, I guess we'll go ahead, and I'm not gonna hold him all day. I know he's a busy man. He's got things to do.
Grammys to win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got more to win, man. I did, because at this point, it's like, it's like you said, well, like, what's next? Just getting more of these shits, because when you reach that plateau, it's like the only other place to go now is just win more, because Grammys is the highest award a musician can win. So it's like, just get more.
You gotta get more. That's all that means. Stack more of that shelf.
Before we head up out of here, do you want to let the people know kind of what you got going on? Obviously we understand you can't tell everything that you have going on. Some things got to stay silent, but you got anything you want to promote, you want to tell? I'm going to leave all your links and everything, all your, all your handles and everything below in the description. So you can also tell them where they can find you at, and you can also, give us a little bit about what you got going on.
Shit, well, for myself, I just be making my own music. You know what I'm saying? I keep that on a tuck sometimes, just because I know in the industry, and that's why, for me, I'm known as 2 different things. So as a engineer, I'm known as Physic, but as an artist, I'm known as Holy Seven because, and just to give that away to anybody trying to come into the industry, be careful as well, because a lot of these majors won't book you if you're an artist as well, because it's like a conflict. And that happened to me. Like my bookings dropped drastically because I had my own music all over my Instagram page, along my engineering stuff, and that had labels kind of like fall back off me. But the minute I tucked all of that away and separated it, my bookings went back up. So that's why I don't like, promote my own music like that around certain crowds. But here I'll, let it be known, like, yeah, I drop music every 4 weeks, and I drop on Tuesdays instead of Thursdays, because Thursdays is the industry shit. Like, I'm not trying to get, lost in that smoke. So I drop every Tuesday. I got another record coming out on this Tuesday coming, called Best of It. So y'all can tap into that.
Yes, sir.
Y'all can find me on Instagram with my music stuff at It's Holy Seven. So it's ITSHOLYSVN. And then for the engineering stuff, Laws of Physics, LAWSOFPHYZIC. Reach out. Anybody can tap in with me. I'm not on no Hollywood shit, bro. I'm a regular ass person who's just grateful to be where he's at. So if you DM me, if I don't see it, it's because it went to my request. I try to check my request. So please don't get at me if you don't get a response. It's just, I'm just all over the place doing what I gotta do. But I try my best to respond. I'm not on no Hollywood shit. So if anybody wants to tap in, get any feedback, ask questions, I'm not gonna turn you away, bro. I ain't on no weird shit. So
my God,
always here to get back.
Legend in the making right here, man. Legend in the making. Love it.
I appreciate y'all, man. I definitely appreciate it, because I know people out there need advice, and I never got a lot of assistance with what I was trying to do. I'm not saying that I was looking for a handout, but it's always good to get a guide, and I didn't have much of a guide. So if I can be that for other people, hey, I'm down. Why not?
And that's what we're here for, to make sure we spread that word for the people who is looking for a physic, and how to get a hold of somebody, or how to, the jewels, the gems you spit today, man. People's gonna probably take that, utilize it. I mean, look, you gotta take it. You gotta take it, man. This man got Grammys. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
You don't take that advice.
Talk that shit. Talk your shit. And if y'all watching, take that advice.
Yeah. Come on now. Yeah. I know I still about to take some of that goddamn advice my damn self. You know what I mean?
Right.
Nah, I respect that. I appreciate that for sure. More than what y'all think, man. For real.
All right, y'all. Well, we're gonna get up out of here. I'm gonna let CL say peace out, and then y'all know how we going from here. So, what do you got to say to him before we get up out of here, CL?
I mean, like I said, I pretty much said it, man. I just appreciate you, rocking with your boy, man. We've been real cool since we reached out, and started, just kind of, just talking, man, and getting to know each other, man.
Yeah.
And every time I asked you or see if you was available to do something for me, you always been available, bro. You always been down. Man, that's much appreciated, bro, and it means a lot to me. You know what I mean? Because it's hard beating great, not good people in this industry, great people in this industry. You one of the great ones.
Shit, that's a fact.
You one of the great ones, my guy. So
I appreciate that, truly.
That's it, man. And my guy, some. You wanna know how we rock until next time.
Right. So that's what we got for y'all today. Make sure you drop a whole elbow on that like button, hit subscribe, that notification bell, so every time we bring you guys a new video, you can be the first to see. Appreciate you guys' time as always, and we'll catch you in the next one. Ski!
That's funny as hell. Yo.
Again, don't judge me.
Do it on camera. There we go.
I'm gonna hit it. Yo, you see me? I'm gonna drink it the whole pod. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be seeing it the whole pod.
My boy said hit it on camera. That's crazy.
Hey, yo.
Wow. That was
wild, bro. That was wild.
Yeah,
that was wild.
Hit it on camera.
That was so wild. I would have had to respond with, so what did you mean in this lyric when you said I'm gonna eat a nigga's ass? Like, because you know how Cam and Mace be.
Oh, so you're right. That was wild as shit. You're right. That was crazy.
All right. I might put that in at the end or something. I might go ahead and put that in at the end as an outtake or some shit.
That was wild. That was crazy.
All right. Y'all ready?
Yep.
All right.
That was wild.
Niggas never be serious either. That's the funniest shit.
Niggas can never be serious. It's all good though.
Oh man, that is funny. I love it. I love this shit, man. Honestly.